Oh, you want me to bring the mic down? Well, let me tell you something, brother. And does a drunk, homeless Hulk Hogan promo on me.
Next comic, give it loud for everybody for Anthony Eugenio. We're up next comic. Very funny. Wayne Russell, everybody.
Welcome to the Open Mic Pain with Anthony and Wayne podcast.
Why, hello everybody, and welcome to an Open Mic Pain with Anthony and Wayne. I'm Anthony Eugenio here with my co-host Wayne Russell. How you doing, Wayne?
Doing really good. Really excited for this one.
Nice. He coughed on the first line, everybody. That's how well we are in this fucking episode. And we're here with the way more important person, as always, the guest, our very good friend who we just had a performance with. I did at Stark's Brewery, and we fucking murdered, and it was awesome. Also is one of our favorite local comics, Nick Tocco. How you doing, buddy?
What's going on, fellas? Thanks for having me on. Appreciate it.
Absolutely.
It's actually I hate to open up like this, but it's actually Tocco.
Yeah. How do I pronounce it?
Tocco.
Oh, so do you know Christy Butts?
Christy Butts?
Yeah, the Butts family.
No.
You don't know Christy Butts?
No.
She
should
said
I?
you're like her brother. Uh-oh, Jesus.
Christy
this is
Butts?
This is my sister's girlfriend. She works at Irish step dancing class thing. She said that I think that your aunt or mom worked there, something like this. Anyways.
Oh yeah, no way.
Yep. So that's
Whoa.
my sister. You're right. Look how
This
close
is a
we're getting.
deep childhood cut right away. I didn't think we were going to get into Irish step dance land
So
because I have a past.
This is how far I'm going to go in order to defend how I said your name. So I go through this whole thing, and Christy goes, "Hey, you're on a show. He's like a brother to me. Like we grew up together." And I'm like, "Yeah,
Wow.
he's got a bit. It's like his name sounds like Taco." She's like, "Yeah, no, but it's not like that. It's like Tocco." Like that. Like you gotta say it like that. So she told me to fucking say it like that. So sorry.
I remember now, and I'm sorry to Christy. I can't believe it. I'm just nervous, Wayne. I was telling Anthony before we started recording. This is my first podcast ever.
How is that possible?
I'm working out the kinks. I'm working out the jitters. So my opening is not going to be smooth. So I forgot who Christy was because I'm so nervous.
Okay. Well, I fucking said, like, thanks, Christy. I hope you're listening to this shit.
I
Maybe
know.
Bomb his name.
Oh God, this is going to be the worst episode for her.
Taco.
Yeah, you actually said it. I'm Italian. You said it more Italian than me.
Well, I tried to
Tocco.
get because that's.
I also could be
Christy's
saying
so
my
great.
last name wrong this whole time.
Do
I
you
wouldn't put
like
it
I
past
said?
myself.
Taco. I tried to like drop my face a little bit when I said it too to give.
You
to
did. I noticed that. You have like a cologne commercial thing.
Yeah, it's kind of like Juan, who
It was very
who
European
also
of you.
performed with us that night when he tries to say my fucking name when I go to 603, and he's like, "And Eugenio," and I'm like, "All right, thank you."
I'm glad for you. He was nice enough to even say your last name because most of the time I just give it up for Nick, and then it's just like I'm Earthquake. I just go by one name.
No,
Wow,
he
this guy
only
better
says
be good.
Eugenio. He doesn't say Anthony, so I only get one name too. He just does the last name. For some reason.
Everyone's like, this fucking guy better be good if he's just going by Nick. You have to just call dibs on the most basic name. You have to be on fire. But yeah, that was a fun show.
Yeah, I want to pipe in there. I was not in that show, but I was there as a fan, and I gotta say, you guys fucking murdered. That was one of the most fun nights of comedy I've had in my life. I mean, it obviously helps that I knew a lot of you guys. It's really fun seeing you in that setting, but just material and presentation, performance, everything, you guys fucking murdered it.
Thank you, man.
Thank you.
I appreciate
We
that.
tried. Well, so the show was at Stark's Brewery. Casey Crawford was the headliner, which was really fucking cool.
Amazing.
That guy, yeah, he's such an animal. Just like 35 minutes or whatever he did of pure jokes, one after another, and they were all awesome. So that was cool. Nick opened it up. I went right after him. Then we had Danny P, who we love, friend of the show.
Phenomenal.
And, Juan, we're just going to call him Juan since he only gives us a fucking first name, was also on the show.
Juancho.
Yeah, Juancho, he did great. made the microphone a penis in 17 different ways across his set, and I was very impressed by how the personification of how Juan did it. But what I really liked was how different we all were on the show, as far as like, feel like it was cohesive, but different enough where the audience wouldn't get, stagnated. Everybody had a good set. Crowd was great. What else could we ask for, right, Wayne?
You did forget. Don't forget the host.
Randy.
Actually,
Randall.
Yes,
That's my man, Randy Williams. Yes,
he was very funny as well.
He's always great. Randy's like most guys has come a long way, because I remember when Randy first started ish. At least I think he was just starting when I had first met him, and we were both having rough sets, and he just it just clicked one day, and now he's like awesome. Like, I love Randy. I haven't seen Randy have even sniff a bad set in a very long time. And I also haven't seen him in a while, but when I was seeing him regularly, he just started hitting his stride. And it's so nice because he's just like a dad. He just gives you like dad vibes. So he's just such a nice, like, comfortable guy. You just root for him. And then when you see him just killing it, you're like, hell yeah, Randy.
Yeah, he definitely exhumed confidence up there.
He did, except he said "fuck kids" was one of his lines, and it was like, it was funny. And then
he dips a toe into that. It's all funny.
He did,
games,
which
you know.
I thought it was hilarious. But the problem was, I went on stage and I had a bit where I call my kids a mistake. I was like, "Yeah, my kids are mistakes." And I heard him in the back go, "Oh, I was like, you said you fucking kids. You can fuck them, but don't you dare call them a mistake."
That's okay. Once Juan went up, everyone forgot everything else. So
that's true.
It was funny. We were in the back while Juan was up, and I was sitting with Danny P, and we're paying attention, but we're also kind of like talking under our breath, to ourselves. And I just go, we should make a Juan bingo card every time he's up, with like different things that he does. It's like, okay, make the mic a dick, peek the mic. Jump off stage. You fuck the stool, or it was a barrel this time.
Yep.
Fuck and Danny was like, "Yep, fuck the barrel." He's gonna do that right now.
He did.
All love to Juan, but yeah, there should always be a Juan bingo card available just to see if you catch him when he makes all the hits.
Oh, man, they'd wanted to have that stage with no stool or barrel on it or anything like that. And I was like, Juan's going to be there. I need something. If we don't give him something inanimate, he will choose something animate in order to do that, too.
Yeah, or he'll dry hump a person in the crowd. He'll just jump right to someone in the front row. And
he did that when he came in to me.
Yeah.
He really saw me at the bar. He came up, he started grabbing my tits and stuff. I was like, bro,
yeah.
He's
a lover. He's a lover. He's a passionate lover.
Just fucking barrels in on Wayne like tunnel vision, though. It's awesome. Loves him.
That was wild. So let's kick this off, because I think I can't remember when we first crossed paths, but I don't think it was all that long ago, a few months, and I was under the impression that you were fairly new, and I was watching you on stage going, how the fuck is this guy so confident and so good being new? And then I started to get to know you, and I found out that you've been doing it a lot longer than I thought. How long ago did you start?
So it's it's like, I always say I never can give a straight answer, and it's kind of embarrassing, because if you hear how long ago I started, I always feel like I should be a lot better than I am, because it's like over 10 years. So I started in like 2012, when I graduated high school. And I graduated high school. I didn't have like a lot of plans. I went to community college because I was just eked out of high school, had no plans, just barely passed. So I went to community college and just worked a job while I was going to community college. And I was lucky enough that one of my best friends, his dad, was a really good comedian named Kennedy Richard, who ironically was on like a long hiatus, because he was in like the 80s, I think. He was like coming up in like the Boston circuit, and then went into law enforcement for like 15 years. But he was like, he's always hilarious. He was like one of our football coaches, and he was always making us laugh. And then like later on, I learned he was like a comedian. And then we would always talk about comedy. We'd talk about like his day, like, you know, the guys he watched growing up, like Rodney and Dice and guys like that. So we would just like swap clips back and forth. And then one day I was telling a story in the kitchen, because in his kitchen with like his son, my buddy Connor, shout out Shaka Khan, what up? It was him, his sister, his mom, and then like a couple other friends. It was like a gathering, and I was telling a story how recently I went to Six Flags with another buddy, and I got kicked off a roller coaster because I couldn't fit in the seat, and being like the obnoxious ass that I am, I can't just tell the story. I gotta like build it up and, you know, do all this stuff and be obnoxious. So I was like telling this whole long story, how we like waited in line and all this shit. And I'm just telling the story in his kitchen, and he's just like sitting back just watching me. And he's like, I finish up and he's like, that's a bit. He's like, you need to do it. And he was just starting to do comedy again. Mm-hmm. So he was hitting like the open mics around there at the time in Londonderry, New Hampshire. So he just sniped me, and he was like, if you want to do it, come with me one night. He took me to a bar that doesn't exist anymore called J.D. Chasers. I always loved that name. That's a great like first set bar. Mm-hmm. J.D. Chasers. Like you can just feel the rats crawling underneath your feet, you know? You can just smell a place like that from the name. Ooh. And he took me to J.D. Chasers in Hudson, and it was just you walk in, and it's just like 4 walls, pool table. The host put a pizza out on the pool table, and it was just me, and it was just he's like, hey, thanks for coming. It was me and like 8 comics, and then 4 drunk regulars that were always at the bar back to us, watching a Bruins game on mute, and he's like, go do your thing. And I just told the story, and obviously, like, it's your first time, but I felt like I crushed because I had already known that story, so I just told the story. And I had, like, these regular guys who were going every night just like, how was that your first time? Oh, my God. Because I was just like, you know, when you have a story you've been kicking around forever, you know, like, all the moves. And when you've had enough people tell you it's funny, you're like, all right, this is a funny story. So you just go up and do it. So I was just like going through the motions. And I had all these guys like, oh my God. Like I felt like DiCaprio in Wolf of Wall Street. When he goes when he goes to like the penny stock place and he's like on the phone, and all the guys are like, how did you just do that? Now, before it sounds like I'm bragging, very quickly, Montreal-Boston Game 1 of NHL playoffs, on same night, my second set, same place, try to do a weird bit about bugs. I didn't work out. Bombed. Bomb, 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 bomb. Embarrassing bomb. Silence. It was ironic. It was ironic. Yeah, it was ironic. It was about bugs because you could hear crickets. It really was. I was like, damn, I really set myself up. So yeah, I started then, and then I didn't keep up with it. I did it for like 3 years consistently, and then went to college, and went away, and there was nowhere for me to really go. I also had a couple hiatuses for just kind of being a pussy. Not gonna lie, I took a couple breaks. Just because I wasn't really getting any traction going. Mm-hmm. But I always ended up coming back. I would always have like a booker just like throw me a bone, like, hey, if you're still doing comedy, you know, you want a spot? I'd be like, oh, cool. So randomly, 8 months without doing comedy, I'll just get a set and I'd cook up something and it would go well, and then I'd be back in comedy again. So I've had a really erratic road. So wasn't that an obnoxious answer?
Yeah.
No.
Just a long, winding, boring road. It's like, dude, when did you start?
No, I find that very interesting because I feel like every single person before they go to their first open mic, I don't know if you had this same feeling, Wayne. Maybe I'm saying every person, but I just mean myself. you have that like I'm gonna fucking crush it feeling where you thought, because before you go to your open mic, it's like when you write your first album as a band, like you've been writing these songs your whole life up to this first album. So me and Wayne have been talking about jokes for 10 years basically, maybe more, before we went up there to try them. And then I ate so much shit. I was so confident when I went out. Every joke, I was like, oh, you didn't like that one? All right, and maybe that's not your style. I'll give you a different one that I know is going to work. Still shit. The microphone cord came out of the microphone because I didn't hold it.
Oh,
Right, 'cause
that's
I'm a
the
fucking
best.
idiot. Yeah, so all that happened. And then a lady who had... See how quickly I transitioned from le to lady with blue hair. So that was the lady. She was very mad at me.
You're turning like Roman Italian, like in front of our eyes. It's unbelievable.
I am. Yeah, exactly.
You're going to be on the boat and everything.
Yeah. Well, you know who told me from One Broadway? Aaron. He said he taught me the term "wop" for the first time. You guys ever heard that?
Great word.
Yeah.
Yeah, well,
Great word.
because the idea was that he was trying to say was, they got the wet ass pussy song now. What if you went back and said, like, back in my day it was WAP, which was without papers or some shit like that.
Yeah. I just learned that's what it was. I thought it was the music. Like you had like the greasy hair, like the greasy black hair, and like Sinatra. It'd be like do wop wop. So stupid.
Yep.
So stupid to think that. But I always thought that was what it was. I didn't know it was an acronym.
I guess it's Italian specific, and I am not Italian, so I think that is where why I can't do it. But
Well, I'll give you the WAP pass.
Ooh, WAP ass.
I'll give you the WAP pass. And ironically, Italian. Ironically, Italians are just white people now, but we have the best sounding slurs.
Yeah.
We have Guinea, WAP, Dago. It's all like hard consonants that are fun to say. They're the best. Greaseball. Anything with a ball. Oh, dude.
Like if you
It's
lined
so
up a
much fun
bunch
to
of
say.
South Koreans, not the North Koreans, but if you lined up a bunch of South Koreans and you and they didn't speak English or anything, and you were just like said all like the N word and you said them all out, they might, when they hear the Italian ones, go, "Oh, that doesn't sound good." Because you're right.
Yeah.
Like, Guinea.
Somehow that sounds worse, but it's about a white guy.
What ass pussy?
Yeah. It's just like the English language. You just like to say it, but
Yeah.
the Italian Justice League is going to come after us. We better stop.
Yeah, no,
Or whatever the League of Italians or the Italian NAACP. They're gonna get after us. I don't need that
I
kind
think
of heat.
Shane Gillis has a joke which I love, which is Italians are the last race that you can fucking make fun of because
Yes. Yeah. So true. So true.
You know who thinks I'm Italian was have you ever done Strange?
Me? I thought you were.
Oh yeah, most
Until
people.
just now. Eugene.
Yeah, exactly. That's why you said my fucking last name wrong. How could you? We're compadres. No. Portugal,
No.
we say it weird.
You could have wrote that. You could have wrote that up.
I know. I just don't want to be seen as Italian, which is sad. See, that's the thing.
You don't want to be phony.
Yeah.
You want to be what
And
you are. But what were you saying? I'm sorry.
I don't even remember how much I hate
Said who
Italians.
thought you were Italian? Have you ever been to Strange Brew? Is what you said.
Oh, yes, Strange Brew.
Yeah, which we love Strange Brew there, but goddamn did Ben think I was whatever he thought I was, probably Italian, as he was saying. My last name terribly wrong.
Yeah. And you know he's not going to ask you. He's just going to run with that.
Yeah. Yeah, well,
Yeah, 4 times. They'll run with it 4 times.
4 times.
Say it wrong 4 times.
He always called me Nick Tocco every single time.
Well, I'm glad that I got like Wayne's last name is fucking Russell, which is such a bush league
like
last name.
meat and
'cause it's so
potatoes.
easy.
Yeah, it's very white.
God, no one's ever looked at his name except I think was it Jacques that did a "you have 2 first names" bit about how superheroes have that, which are basically the only roast you've ever gotten is that your name is like a superhero's.
Yeah.
Mine is like, oh, his dick is a different color than the rest of his body. I swear to God, look at him. He's gross. I'm like, no, it's not.
Jesus.
All right, Wayne, on track now. I started talking about my dick.
Yeah,
You guys
Wayne,
go back
step
on.
in.
Yeah, so another question I like, and I thought you were going to hit it. You hit so many of my questions.
Oh, no, don't let me blow it out. Stop me, please.
No, you're good. So your joke about the first one you did on stage about the roller coaster. Did you carry that? Do you still do that? It sounds like it's would be like a staple bit for you. I've never had to do it, but
it was for a while. I would try to like, not like, I guess overwriting isn't a thing, but I probably could have milked it more than I did. But that was, I always wanted to like try to come up with other stuff, and I think it's why I started like failing all the time, trying to get away from it. But whenever I would come back to it, because it's such a, the story was, we're in line forever. We were going on the Bizarro coaster, which is like that was the big badass Six Flags roller coaster. It was the fastest. It was the biggest one. And that was like our last stop of the day. And we waited like 3 hours. And like the big hook of the bit is like we waited 3 hours, and then I get to the line and I see, and it was all real. That was the thing. It just fell in my lap. I would just like describe it. And there was this huge black woman, massive woman, just getting, the only thing missing was that they should have had a plunger in their hands. They had 4 people just working on this lady, trying to cram her into this fucking seat. And by some miracle, she got on. So this is a lady that's twice my size, and you guys know I'm not small. And this massive defensive tackle woman just got on this ride. No, and then I get on, and it's me and my buddy. And my buddy, who's like a smaller guy, he's got big legs. He was a running back. He has like fucking Earl Campbell quads. He almost didn't make it. It was just like our proportions just wasn't working out. So we're getting on there, and I just like, his thing clicked and mine didn't. And I just tried, and they're like, and that had never been a fat guy my whole life. That had never happened to me until that time. I'd had close calls, and I was like, no fucking way, today's the day. I'm getting tossed. I'm getting tossed off the Bizarro. So they ask us to walk off, and I'm walking off, and I'm like, no, there's got to be a way. And I literally walked on to like the platform where they were doing the controls. I was like, is there something we can do? Like, I'm trying to get a loan. Like, is there something we can do? Can we finagle? Like, what can we do? Can you give me another shot? Give me another shot. I'm like auditioning.
Roller coaster ride.
Yeah, I'm like auditioning to get back on this roller coaster, which is a horrible idea because you didn't fit into it. So why would you want to get on a roller coaster and die? I was basically trying to die on a roller coaster.
Was the fat lady they squished in? Was she doing like the loop-de-loops and like flipping you off, going like, sucker?
Yeah, she just had like a big, like, she literally had like a big fro, and you could just see the thing just flying. I'm like, she didn't come out of that. That's a miracle. I'm like, I think it can hold me. So eventually they got the same. Suction. Yeah. Yeah, she congealed into the seat. And then they got the same fucking NASCAR pit crew that they used on her, and they started fucking jamming me in there. Here's the kicker. I can't believe I'm telling this story. It's been literally 10 years since I was telling this all the time. But they click it, the buckle, like between my legs, pinches my ball bag. Oh.
And you're like, so, click it.
And it was funny because they were like doing it, but what did it was my buddy literally was like, he was getting sick of waiting for this shit. So because he waited with me. So he's like, dude, we're fucking doing this. He literally used the seat and got like air and did like a Hulk Hogan leg drop on the thing. And he just started to click and it just snagged my bag. So I'm just like, oh! And then he's not going to like, oh, let's try again so you're comfortable. He's like, no, we're in. Now the thing's going. And within seconds, the thing's moving. So now I'm going, and I'm like, thumbtacked to the seat now by the balls. And I'm like, oh, my God. So I'm going through, and the whole time, all I had left was like one more joke just to scare the shit out of my buddy. So the first loop, I go to him, I'm like, I'm coming out! I'm coming out! So he goes like this, pushes the seat in more, pitches my ball bag more, and then we go, and then the worst part, or the best part, depending, was that it was one of those roller coasters that takes your picture. as you're going through. So you just see him. He's laughing like I've never seen him laugh before, and you just see me like. Just like it looks like I'm having a good time, but you can also tell I'm in some kind of pain. And that was like the whole bit. Like the road there, getting there, the lady, and I had like my little jokes in between. And obnoxiously enough, it's like an 8-minute bit.
Wow.
Like to do the whole thing because it just takes so long, which sounds great. But when you have other comics. It's like this kid's running the light every night to tell his fucking roller coaster story. Like, cut it. Like, someone had to tell me, like, all right, cut it down, come up with some other stuff. Like, but I was like, this is my first time. So I was like, I got a closing bid right out the gate. I lost a ball for this, so.
I also love that the story behind the fact that they opened the Superman roller coaster initially. They're like, this is the best thing ever. And then some probably big fat lady got murdered on it.
Yes.
Smashed her into the water and destroyed her. Like, Pink misted her in front of an entire thing. And they were like, it's called Bizarro now.
Yeah.
It's like,
Spray it purple. Spray the fucking thing purple.
I love how they called it Bizarro. Like, nobody got
Yeah, which is crazy because I heard that story like a year later. I thought it was like they just made a new roller coaster, and then it dawned on me, oh yeah, the Superman one's gone.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh shit. And so I'm trying to get back on a roller coaster that I don't fit in that's already had a fatality. How white trash is that? Like, I took the time to wait in line. I'm getting on there.
It's the greatest. Like, back in like the 1920s where they allowed you, if they were like, you're sentenced to death, you get to choose. You got to like choose how you died. I definitely would have been fatality on a roller coaster.
Roller coaster, death by roller coaster.
Ever. Oh
Yeah.
my god, could you imagine just no seat and then just right at the apex of the first like drop, just getting your face smashed in?
It would be cost effective for the government because it would already be set up, and it's like the guy's dying on it anyway, so you have no upkeep,
Yep.
no maintenance.
Spray some Clorox on the wheels and just keep running it until it's clean.
Yeah, and if you wanted to get real 1800s about it, you could charge people to watch, make a little bit of scratch off it. Yeah. But if we got a little more creative with this, we could have fun again as a country.
Remember the last fun we ever had as a country was there was that elephant, I think it was called Maddie or something, and it broke out and killed its trainer, and then the mayor of New York hung it with the crane.
It's funny, I went to school for journalism at Keene State, and we covered that fucking story, like, in class.
Oh, did you?
Like, it was like a topic. It was like, yeah, this was a disaster, and this is how they covered it, and blah, blah, blah. And then it was Trump, obviously. But
well,
we
it's
had
the saddest
Trump
story.
bashing class.
On the face of it, of all time, is the saddest story because you just see the picture of the elephant getting hung by a crane, and you're like, oh, why would you do that? But then the more, which I'm sure you looked into, the deeper you look into it, the more you realize how much of a cunt that this fucking elephant was.
Yeah, dude, he was like he was biding his time. He's like, one day that gate's gonna open wide enough, and I'm getting everybody in this fucking town. I'm getting everybody. I don't give a fuck. It was like one of those. He was like one of those elephants from Lord of the Rings. Fucking.
Yeah, they're pronounced like your last name. They're called elephants.
He was not Elephant, the elephant.
No. I'll name Tim, right?
That was not fun.
I have in my joke notes. I have a note for an elephant. There's a story. I think it was in Africa. This woman was like mistreating this elephant. So one day it snapped and killed her and then ran away. The next week they had her funeral and the elephant showed up and just started fucking up the body. It was like, fuck you again.
Ah, dude.
Yeah. It's, say an elephant never forgets.
What did she molest the elephant?
I don't know what she did, but...
That lady molested the monkey. Remember that monkey that got molested by the lady and then it ripped off her friend's face off? She was giving him Vicodin wine.
Is that why the monkey did that?
Yeah, she was fucking the monkey, basically. They never said that she was, but she was giving it Vicodin and wine.
Is this the same lady that was on Oprah?
Yeah, well, that's her friend with the face off.
I know.
Because her friend came over and she was like, you're getting a little too close to that monkey. And the monkey was like, what the fuck are you saying? Just took her out. And then she called the police and she was like, you're probably gonna have to shoot my monkey in the face because he is not gonna stop. And
Damn.
yeah, they took him out.
I didn't know there was monkey rape preceding that. Because
Well,
she got scooped. I mean, she got really mangled. Didn't she pass away recently?
Yeah, she did. But I mean, fucking.
I remember that coming
What a
back into the
run.
news cycle.
Yeah, she.
Oh
she
my
did
God, that
30 extra
horrified
years
me.
after that. Yeah, that's why my friend, my old roommate, he would always tell me never trust a monkey ever. Not just because of that, but he's like they're too close. They're like you never. Everybody thinks they're cute because they look close to us, but you fucking idiots! It's the next thing in line. It's the lieutenant to the colonel. You know, it wants our spot.
Yeah.
So never. We should eradicate the monkeys. Why do we even have them? What part of the food chain are they essential for?
We're just
They're
keeping a threat to us waiting in the wings. You know.
Yeah.
Have you seen Nope?
Yes, I have seen it. Exactly. That's what happened to that
Yeah.
lady, basically.
Notice there's not a lot of monkey cuteness in the media right now since that
but-
movie.
Yeah. Well, especially
They used to be
'cause-
the go-to.
and they have dick rip-off ability. There's not a lot
They
of
do
things
that
that
a
can
lot.
rip your dick off. do a lot.
Monkeys will fuck you up, man. They'll rip off your genitals. They'll go to like warring tribes and take the baby monkeys and smash them against trees and shit. Like they don't give a fuck.
Yeah. That Chimp Empire is a fucking awesome show. I love that they like ingratiated themselves in with the chimps, and then the chimps are, beaten off a lot less than I thought. I mean, they have 96 hours or something like that, and they only got 4 of them in the show. So I bet like 91 of the hours they're like them beaten off. so much
To be honest, they started making me feel bad about myself because I realized I beat off more than a lot of these chimps. I thought they would be putting up numbers. They're actually gentlemen about it.
My mom had a monkey in Brazil. She had one of those spider monkeys and all that stuff. And she's like, well, I had to get rid of him because he would always climb our tree and masturbate into my sister's window.
He's just shooting ropes through the fucking window.
And
Yeah,
they
take
look
that.
at you while they do it. They make eye contact. They're not like fucking like a slow person's got to look at your shoes or some shit like that. They're fucking looking right at you while they're doing it.
He was the Dice Clay of fucking spider monkeys. Yeah, take the banana juice. I get gays.
Yeah, I think he fell from the tree and hung himself. I think that's how the monkey died. Actually.
I'm a spider monkey. She's a hooah. Gays.
I remember seeing a video a while back of a gorilla in a zoo, like with his ass facing the crowd and then just looking over his shoulder and just fingering his ass.
They just,
love
they're real wild cards.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're not supposed to make eye contact with gorillas. My brother went to a zoo in Franklin Park.
No.
Caused a whole ruckus. Because they were like, the guy's like, make sure you never make eye contact with these gorillas. And my brother was like,
Yeah, it's the first thing you do. It's the first thing you do. When you say that, you can't not. I mean, they're a marvel of an animal. And then what about them looking me in the eyes? There's a two-way street here. So then they start looking at me and freaking out.
they give you the side shoulder. They give you the little side look. They're like, you fuck on me!
You fucking with me? You're in my house? You're in my house?
How do we get our gorillas?
I think you just
podcast, so
you just start roasting them, Nick. I know how you roll.
It's the circle of life. And I'm talking about monkeys.
One of my favorite things I've ever seen involving you was I walked into 603 one day. It was when that drunk guy went on stage. I guess I wasn't there for that, but I guess he was. I guess it was his first time on stage or something, and then he went off and just got drunk and started heckling everybody. Is from what I understood. And I think I walked in, and then you were next on stage. But that was one of the best. Like you, I think you just stopped like halfway through your set, and then spent like 2.5 minutes just roasting the hell out of that guy. So bad that he left after.
So let me tell you about the tour through Afghanistan that fucking night was. So I have moved recently, like within the past like 5-6 months. So I guess not that recently, depending on how you look at it. But whatever. I was living in Londonderry my whole life, and then I moved to Leominster, which has been great. Ironically, I didn't move for comedy, but I'm living with my girlfriend in Leominster. That's where she's from. But it's actually got me closer to a lot of other mics, like, Hotel Vernon, The Safe in Lowell, Wacky Wednesday in Worcester. There's like, I've been going to more open mics than I ever have in my entire life. So it worked out that way, but I also love the Manchester mics. And I used to love having those like right up the street. So every now and again, I'll take the drive on a Wednesday, and I'll go take the hour drive and go to 603 and see Juan and you know, do the thing there. And that night, I got to tell you, my parents are like very old school. Like, I don't want to like disparage them, but they like, you know, they'll hear about me doing open mics. Like, they'll text me and stuff because, like, you know, they still get like empty nests. So whatever. I'm like, I'm gonna be 30, guys. But they still text me. I came out with my parents, and I'll tell them, you know, I'm going to Lowell, I'm going to Worcester, and they're like, "Oh, be careful," because they're from Malden originally, so they know all the dumps, you know, all the shady places. I shouldn't say dump, but all the shady places. You know, your Lowell, Worcester, Lawrence.
Yep.
I don't know.
Say worse things than I've already said about them.
I don't know what's happened, but I'm telling you right now, Manchester, New Hampshire gives all of them a run for their money this day and age.
Yeah,
I
10
mean,
years. 10 years of that shit, for sure.
dude, I walk through Lowell. It's like Manhattan compared to Manchester right now. I literally drove in, right? I get off the exit, and I drive in, and I hit my first set of lights. I just get into Manchester. Just crack the border. I'm at a stoplight. There's a dude sitting on a traffic sign. 3 jackets on, ripped pants. Hood over him. I tried to make this a joke to start my set. But there was about 5 people there and that guy. And as you can imagine, it didn't go great. But this dude had the most horrific sign I've ever seen from a homeless person. He goes, and he's asleep. And he goes, and it's cold and shit. And he's got the sign, and it says, "Please help, too ugly for prostitution." That's your welcome. That's your welcome into Manchester. That's the front door. That's the welcome mat. That's the welcome mat of Manchester on the way in. So I'm already kind of pissed off because I'm like, okay, you know, I step over 1 homeless person, I come back, I'm stepping over 3. It's like, what is happening to this city? This is where I grew up. This is where when I first turned 21, I'd go down the Strip, I'd do Murphy's, I'd do Strange Brew, I'd go up and down the block, and like some of my best like drinking memories are in Manchester, and it was always shady, but it was like, it felt livable. It felt
You
like
were just shady at the time. That's the difference. You were just young and shady. You were like,
I was
this
just
feels normal.
Yeah, maybe that's it. I got a girlfriend with her shit together, and now I'm like, what is this scum? And I was part of the scum. Yeah, I was one of the amoebas. But no, dude, it's like digress so badly. So I get in there, and this guy. Now we'll get to the guy. That's my diatribe on, you know.
Manchester sucks, we get it.
Yeah, the socio-economic state of Manchester. That was my little rant. But
Manchester made Danny P, and we love that fucking guy. So
what a segue! Speaking of Danny P, that's who I see when I'm there. Danny P instantly puts me in a good mood. I see his fucking Crocs and tie-dye shirt. He's still wearing shorts. I'm like, this guy's the best. So I see Danny, and I'm there first. He comes in. He's got the list, and we're just sitting there talking. And this fucking guy. He was like one of those weird types of homeless where you don't know if he's like recent homeless or has been homeless for a while. Like he could have been 53 or 23. I don't know. Mm-hmm. But he's missing teeth. He had like ripped like windbreaker pants like you'd break away. And he's got like a gray sweatshirt stained, the whole nines, and like a big like droopy, floopy winter hat. And he's got like a scraggly beard. And we're just talking with the list out, and he just like kind of walks over. And he's just kind of like uncomfortably close. And he's just like waiting for us to stop talking. And we're like, "What's up, dude?" And he's like, "Hey, can I go on?" And we're like, you know, unfortunately we're not Comedy Cellar level. We don't have much of a barrier to entry.
yeah.
So I'm like, you have that right. So Danny's like, yeah. Oh, no, he wanted to go first. He wanted to take. I was like, yeah, Bullet Man. All right, you take the bullet. Danny goes, "What's your name?" And this is what got me. Like, I couldn't even have fun with this guy. I was furious. He goes like this. You ask someone their name, imagine, and they go like this. He starts thinking of a stage name on the spot.
Damn.
And I'm like, no. I literally had no fear at all. I just said right to his face. I'm like, no way. Nope. I just looked at him right in the eyes. I was like, there's no way you're doing that. You're coming up with a stage name in front of me. I'm watching the wheels turn. So he says, what did he say? Oh, he goes, finally the light bulb goes off. He goes, call me D-Rags.
D-Rags.
Like it's a fucking rap battle. I was like, all right, cool.
Like douche rags?
D-Rag. That's why I was like, dude, this fucking dirt rags. That's what you're wearing right now. So he's fucking D-Rags. He goes up first, and literally, it was so funny seeing like his brain work because he clearly had an idea, but was so drunk. And Twisted Tea's drunk. 9 Twisted Teas to the head. I was like,
yeah,
I've seen homeless guys get drunk. It's usually like straight to the heart stuff. Twisted Teas. I was like, you're getting twisted?
Yeah, you're unfunny and we don't respect you.
Yeah. I was like, I thought he'd be drinking like Johnny Walker or some shit. I don't know. Just like, or like Tito's, something like, I don't know. Pick a shitty gin, some kind of garbage gin. Something to go right into the veins.
Something that your dad had and he drank when you were a kid and it forced you into being in between homes when you're fucking in your mid-30s like that guy was.
Back of the liquor cabinet shit.
Yeah.
Like it's got exactly. Dust on it. Your buddies steal it one night, kick the dust off and your dad doesn't even know it's gone.
I can't wait till all the Trulies they're going to have in fucking brown paper bags in a couple of years when all these kids are like, yeah, my dad beat me on Trulies. He can only slap me because it's the fucking lamest drink ever.
I can see Truly coming out with a 40 ounce. Absolutely. I could see them doing it. So he goes up and he goes, do you guys like wrestling? I'm like, and already me and Danny P are like relieved. We're like, at least he has a topic. He's like, he had a topic. Immediately fumbles the bag. Like, and we go, yeah. He's like he didn't think he would get that far. He's like, oh shit. He literally goes, oh shit. And then there's like silence. I'm like, this is the longest 5 minutes of my life. So then he goes, then it's like drunk mumbling, and he's doing it right into the fucking microphone. Like peeking, echoing. Like peeking the mic so bad. So I'm trying to be nice. Still, I have no right to be nice. I shouldn't be nice. But I'm still trying to be nice. So I'm in the back like a fucking dance mom, trying to direct him a little bit, and I just go, I just make this motion, like bring the mic down. He starts talking shit to me. He goes, oh, you want me to bring the mic down? Well, let me tell you something, brother, and does a drunk homeless Hulk Hogan promo on me. I goes, blah, 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 blah. You couldn't make it out. I wanted to kind of hear what he was saying, but I couldn't hear what he was saying. He goes, what you gonna do? Blah, 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 blah. So imagine that for 5 minutes drilling through your skull. Dude. So I'm furious. Because I just had to listen to that. And on top of it, he's yelling out during everyone's set. Mm-hmm. He's yelling shit out in the middle of a punchline. Like, stepping on punchlines all night. So I'm like, there's no way. And in the midst of all of this is Manchester for you. In the midst of all this, broken glass window on the side of the building. We're in the pits. There's just a nice married couple eating salad and having dinner at a table right in front of the stage. They're the only people sitting. It's just comics standing. It's like 5 comics standing, and then just them.
We made a huge mistake.
I was like, well, a huge mistake was I was doing my hemorrhoid material that night right when this guy was biting into a piece of chicken. I was like, I'm so sorry. I got my hemorrhoid bit tonight. I'm working that out. I'm so sorry. So I'm bombing. We're all bombing. And in the middle of bombing, this guy keeps yelling from the bar. And I just literally, like, the Kill Bill music goes, "Wee, woo, wee." I just, mid-sentence, I just stop and look at this guy. I go, am I really getting heckled by the guy who just gave this microphone hepatitis? Is that what's happening? Is that really what's fucking happening? I started screaming at this guy. And I go, is it the guy who had more jokes than teeth? And you didn't have any jokes? Did you get that one? You fuck! And I never do that. I'm not a crowd work guy. I'm not a battle with hecklers guy. I never do that. That's my biggest fear. But when I get pissed off, it's when I've been nice like 3 different times. Like, we should have had you removed because you're clearly like public intoxication through the roof. And then and what really got me was his, I don't know if it was a friend or just a scared frail kid sitting next to him, but as I start like talking to him, the kid's like, and this is now I'm off mic and I'm still yelling shit on him because he keeps yelling stuff back. And the kid's like, and I'm like, dude, tell him to quit the scary face, because he's doing like this scary face across the bar. I'm like, I look as homeless as you do, okay? Don't give me that shit. I will fight a homeless man right now. And I was bigger than him, which was mainly the confidence. I'm not a fighter at all. He probably would have stabbed me. But I was like,
nothing to lose.
But you know what? You know what, Anthony? I got an hour ride home on a Wednesday, so I'm ready to die. Okay? I'm ready to die. It's 11 at night. I'm not going to get home till fucking 1 when the show wraps up. I'm ready for a homeless stabbing. So, yeah, and then he just left.
Yeah, I saw him get up, and I was like,
Oop, you go in.
I was like, oh, I want to keep an eye on this guy. I'm like you. I've never been in a fight in my life. Like, you know that old thing, like, how many 5th graders do you think you take out? None. I don't think I could.
Not one.
So
That's true.
I don't have that bone in my body. But I was watching him, so like, I got Nick. I got him. But I saw him stumbling, and I was like, "Oh God, I hope he just leaves." Luckily, he just left. But that was one of the that was balling.
Yeah.
And I was laughing so hard while you were yelling at him. It was one of the funniest things I've ever seen.
Well, you caught me, and I mean, literally, I've never done that before. Just absolutely, just ream someone out. But that is like, such a pet peeve of mine, especially when like you're on the show. Like, you're kind of, I don't know what you're doing, but you're kind of like, you're on the list. So I have this weird thing. It's like, well, you're one of us now. You know, you're part of the production.
Yeah.
If you will. So it's like
production.
Yeah, now you're going to sabotage the whole thing. Your set alone was a sabotage. Now you're going to start yelling shit. But yeah, it really was the story of my life when it comes to fighting that he left, because that's what, just being big and having this beard in 8th grade has kept me out of so many fights that I definitely would have lost. So my appearance, just the peacocking, really keeps me out of a lot of fight. I shouldn't put this on recording, because now I'm going to get challenged.
I'm just going to bleep everything except
I don't think you got to worry about it, because I think
you are a fucking pussy.
I would talk the most amount of shit I possibly could on that stage, because I think that Juan would probably... Like, I think he's got that switch in him. I can tell, because he's so nice.
That just reminded me of another part of that story. So when this kid gets off, Juan takes the mic and tries to be hosty, and the kid, like the Manchurian Candidate, is walking off and just turns right back around, gets on the stage, and grabs the mic and tries to pull the mic away. And I started, like, making my way to the stage. I was like, I'm ready to absolutely blindside this guy, because now you're fucking with Juan. I'm like, I can't. And then the kid just, like, exit stage left, like, ran. He didn't see me, so I'm not going to be like, I scared him off, because he didn't see me coming. Maybe he heard me. I don't know. Heard the footsteps. But no, he just, Juan just pulled it back away from him, and he just exit stage left. He's like, oh, I need another Twisted Tea, and dipped. I'm low. I just realized. I was like, dude, D-Rags. I hope D-Rags is in a pit right now. That guy sucks. That guy sucks.
He's like, you won. I don't have a house. And you're like,
no.
Here's another thing.
He shouldn't. He shouldn't have one.
So
There are some people that don't deserve houses. Let me put that on the record.
I'm Anthony Eugenio, and I approve this plan.
I'm coming back to D-Rags. So I have a question for you.
Does he have an OnlyFans?
Does he have an OnlyFans?
I mean, if anyone needs it, it's him.
So being in the scene for 10 years, give or take, and then seeing someone like him, which he's probably a little bit of a different exception, just based on his inebriation and all that, probably his state of life. But have you seen with the newcomers coming on board? Are you seeing like a different type of newcomer? Like, I'll kind of explain it like this. Do you see like a lack of respect for the art with some of the new people? Like I've been to a couple mics recently where, I won't name the mics because I don't know if people are taking it more serious now or whatever, but I was at one mic where this girl went up and she literally did Yo Mama jokes.
I was there.
Okay, so yeah.
Was this at the safe?
Yes.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, she was. Yeah.
Pussy.
Oh yeah, you were there because I remember you were actually yelling out to her. But so
Yeah, I was. Yeah.
I feel like
Man, I didn't realize how much I yell at people. I gotta chill out.
but I was there another night, and this girl was up. It was her first time, and she was actually really good. She did a really good job. But the entire time before that, I didn't even know she was a comic because she was just talking to her, like right up front, talking, blah 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 blah. When me and Anthony started, and it wasn't that long ago. We were coming up on 11 months or something. But we went and we sat and we watched intently, and we were trying to be respectful and not talk in the back and like all that stuff. But I'm seeing as more people come on, there's some habits. I don't want to say like bad habits. Whatever. Who's to say that there's a bad habit or whatever? But I see some habits coming on where people come in and they're just completely oblivious to, the type of respect that you want when you're on stage and not giving it. And D-Rag is
you can call it that.
He's a good example of that. But have you seen any shift? Has it always been like that, or is it shifting that way, or is it getting better somehow?
Well, I guess the only thing I know, I almost had like two different starts. So like right now for me is almost like this past year or two, it's almost like I've started over, and I'm also like in a new scene now, as opposed to starting when I did like exclusively in New Hampshire like a while ago. When I first started, it was more of like an older crowd, like both in the audience and guys I was working with. And I don't know if it was just the time and place, but it was more like either guys who've been doing it a while, or it was like literally some guys would just be like a dad who needed a hobby and would be a comic, and he was a nice guy and he'd come up with a couple jokes. At least that's the vibe. I don't know if that's the case, but that was like the vibe they'd give off as a person. But absolutely, yeah. See, it's just had its own genesis into you guys. Just same thing, different package. No, but it's like I honestly, I don't see any difference from the comedians, because I think if you're like me, you've listened to a bunch of different like advice podcasts. Like you try to hear like Mark Normand or like Bill Burr talk about coming up. Like I've heard every scrap of audio that every comic has had to give advice on. And it all comes back to the same thing. There's only so many ways you can skin this cat. And it's like you just got to get up where you can. And as far as having like a comic's decorum, for the most part, I've seen all the comics, like people on lineups doing the shows, are all respectful, and we're also like networking too. Like that's a part of it. We're making friends. We became friends. Like it's all cool. Like that's a part of it in itself. So it's like a social and performative thing. But as far as the people, it's literally the pain of open mic pain. It's like we're not at clubs.
Yeah.
Yep.
We're not in like small theaters. Like no one paid to be here. I mean, literally one time at the safe, I remember there was a dude who walked in, and he was like a gray-haired guy, and he had like a polo shirt, like he just left work, but in sweat shorts. And you could just tell this guy's been drinking since he was the moment he was
85.
allowed to start drinking. He started drinking, and somehow wandered into here. And he had both AirPods in. So he's got both AirPods in. Comes up, and you know the safe. It's just like you got the cement, you got like the setup floor, and then like the rows of chairs, like right there. This motherfucker sits right in front of a comic. I think it was I forget who it was, but he just sits right there. And somehow he can see what the guy's saying, and he was actually having a good time for a little bit. The problem was any bit he liked, he'd go, "Ha ha! That's so true! I know! The fucking liberals, right?" Like, he was just like, how do you not know, like, you shouldn't do that? Like, sometimes comedy just feels like a foreign art, and that's why I love, like, can we get into Cat Williams?
Yeah.
Oh,
We haven't talked about that yet.
I was going through like the archive, and I was like, this hasn't been a thing. The reason I bring that up is I love like black culture when it comes to comedy. Like, straight up, I'll just say it. Because like I notice with like white dudes, or pretty much just anyone outside of like the black comedy circle, that culture, not the race, but like the culture coming up, it's like we think of stand-up comedy as like we want to do great stand-up comedy in the world of stand-up comedy. I remember listening to Chris Rock one time, and he was like talking about, you know, selling out arenas and doing Madison Square Garden. And he was talking with, like, you know, a bunch of other famous guys like Louis and Jerry Seinfeld. And he's like, I need my show to be, like, perfect. Because they were talking about, like, setting up for a show. Like, do you even care? Do you do a sound check? He goes, I do 2 sound checks. I want everything to be perfect because I need to be better than the Rolling Stones that were there last week.
Yep.
And this is my long roundabout way of saying, like, I love, like, the great black comedians because they're like, this is a show.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Like, you could go, and that's what I mean by like people just wandering in and being like, what? Because they are used to just going to see like a rock show where they can talk, or going to a movie, or staying home and watching a movie. Like, they're the kind of people, they're so oblivious when they walk in to see a stand-up show. You realize all the other elements you're up against.
Yeah.
Like, we're just talking. Like, Chris Rock is just talking, but he's so amazing. It's, like, captivating. And that's why I love Cat Williams, because listening to him on that podcast, you realize, like, he's talking about all other black comedians. Like, they really do look at comedy like athletes.
Mm-hmm.
Like, they brag about, like, their numbers, and they're like, they treat it like we're going to go one-on-one. Like, there's a different level of competitiveness. Yeah. And I think that's why most of the, not all, but, like, you know, it's probably 50-50 at the end of the day, but, like, some of the greatest are, like, black dudes. Like, that was the first comedy that I grew up loving. Was,
well, Chappelle,
you know,
and Pryor, you're going to put 1 and 2 almost in whatever order you want to put them in, so that would make sense.
You know, I mean, Kings of Comedy.
Yep. Oh, fucking
flawless end to end, and that was like next level killing. And that's why I hate seeing another, and I'm not gonna name names, I'm just saying it's a thing out there. A lot of guys do this and they do great, and they're certainly doing better than me right now, but just my cup of tea, I hate another low energy white guy. I can't do it. I was here today, and I was like,
I was,
what? And I'm like, dude, bro, I got Cat Williams on the stool. He's doing sprints back and forth. I mean, he's doing a show. Like, dude, you showed up here to do this. Like, give me some energy. Like, do you care? Like, if you don't care, I don't care. It's like
They
the
should
old
make
adage.
every comic watch Cat Williams do the Shaquille O'Neal bit
fucking love that
story
bit.
before all of us goes on stage. This is before we all go
You
through.
should
Like,
just
hey,
watch
listen,
Pimp
remember, this
Chronicles.
is also stand up. This is stand up too. So remember that when you go up there.
Yeah, it's always like, I noticed that with like alt guys or guys who think they're alt. It's like, it's almost like you are meant to feel like you're a hack when you provide energy.
Mm-hmm.
Like you're trying too hard.
I
I'm like, dude, you want to talk about like loud and energy? Like this motherfucker, Pimp Chronicles, he came out in a green jacket. He was drinking out of a fucking dinosaur egg goblet. I mean, his aesthetic was loud. Then on top of his act, it's like this guy's like and again, it's like that culture. Like he's competing with rap, music, movies, TV shows, concerts, like all of entertainment. He's against, and they still have that like wide receiver confidence. Like,
Sure.
I'm better than all that.
I've been thinking about that a lot on myself, as the performance aspect of it, the way, I'm given my physique, I'm never going to be the guy to run back and forth on a stage. I won't be able to get through a set, but not having that low energy, just saying the jokes, but like telling the jokes, like the night after you guys performed last week, I was in Quincy, and it was like a bar. It was a bar and grill. And there were people eating. There were people in booths or whatever. And I really tried to make it a point to make eye contact and inflect a lot more to try to grab people's attention, because they were not. Some of them weren't there to watch comedy. Some of them were just eating fucking scholars.
Yeah.
So right next to the stage there was this booth where there were two girls there, and I made sure that every once in a while I looked over and I said my jokes to one of them, and I tried to be more like oomphy. And that can be hard to do in the moment. That's definitely a skill that you have. That's a muscle you have to work.
Stage charisma is as important as the jokes.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, and it's and I don't want to go too far one direction, because I was a big, when I first started, and I'm not saying like I've come all this long way, but when I first started, I was big. I was a Farley guy, so I was big. Fall, fuck the stool, use the mic stand, yell.
Yeah.
And it's like you also have to dial it back. And that's my thing. Like, it's not like you have to be this fucking, energy monster up there. It's like a Nate Bargatze.
Yeah.
It's like he's so calm, but he cares about what he's saying. Like, just with his voice, the inflection is in his voice. He's not another guy trying to be Stephen Wright.
No, you have to have rhythm. He has rhythm.
That's like
with his-
Stephen
his
Wright is like a
delivery.
disease.
Yeah.
And when it comes to like young white dudes coming up in comedy, like white one-liners are awesome, but I mean,
Can't
just
deliver it like this.
that he cornered the market on that voice. Like that voice is trademarked. Like you gotta please just give me
It's
something.
like everybody trying to
Think about
constantly,
Cat
like,
Williams.
tell. Like if you have people trying to
Yeah.
to pick up on things.
Yeah, perfect example.
Yeah, Tell's a perfect example. Yeah, no, Cat Williams is he has so much charisma that he can talk shit about the most beloved comics in America right now, all of them in a row. And at the end, everybody was like, he's got a point. He's fucking
Well,
whatever
here's
he
the
says,
thing. Well, here's the thing. I'm if we're gonna talk teams, because I'm personally I've always been Team Cat.
Yeah, no matter what he says to them too.
When he got knocked out by that 12-year-old or whatever happened, I was so sad.
Yeah,
And I
12-year-old
still,
girl,
to this day, I hope that's not actually true. I don't care if there's film evidence. I hope it's CGI'd. I hope there's some way we can try to take that back. But he's always been one of the greatest. And I think when it comes to that interview, whether you like it or not, whether you believe him or not, the people he was talking about, a lot of people don't think they're funny anymore.
Yeah.
A lot of the
And I think that's a lot of the driving motivation. Like, he may have been inaccurate on a few things, but it lines up because, think about it. Everyone he mentioned, to most people, they either were never funny, or they were very funny, and they got a few deals, and their shtick is kind of watered down. It's just the way it is. Like Kevin Hart, I've always loved Kevin Hart, but I can't say I've loved his last movies that have come out.
I've always liked Kevin Hart as like an individual, like his work ethic and just going at it. I have not liked a single thing he has done in entertainment. I've tried to watch his specials. I don't get it. His movies, I'm like, that's the same character from the last one. I just like I'm not.
I watched a 20-minute set of him at Boston Comedy Club in New York when he was first starting out, and it was one of the funniest things I've ever seen. So there is like some, he's got some shit in him, but there's just a level where you're taking a private helicopter to your show, and it's 70,000 people, and you can't make eye contact with anyone because you can't see him, and you're just fucking up there doing your thing.
Yeah, the stadium special.
Yeah, how do you?
That was a flex. That wasn't for a comedy. That was a flex. I mean, and hey, he's a business now. He's admitted that. I'm not really. I never was really invested in the stuff he was saying about Kevin Hart, because Kevin Hart's been. I mean, Laugh at My Pain is one of the great specials. I just felt like it got very like self-parody after that, where it's like, okay, so I'm over here, and then I'm over there. So I'm going over here. I sit up here, and I do that. Like, he started becoming like, all right, these are the Kevin Hart beats I have to hit.
Yep, Gabriel Iglesias, Burt Kreischer, all in the same boat, I feel like, with that same type of, like...
It's like The Rock.
Yeah.
Overexposure. When, like, what you're doing is kind of cheesy cornball, you can't go... Like, The Rock can't come out and be like, I'm doing Oscar-level Robert Pattinson type shit. That, like, the most artisanal person who knows the ins and outs at the foundational artsy farts level is going to give credit to. He's doing cornball, cheese dick action movies that Arnold did. So what's going to be his thing? It's not going to be acting. It's going to be my work ethic. Yep. I do a shitty movie, but I do 100 of them in a year. And I'm getting up at 4 a.m. And then they turn into motivational speakers. Mm-hmm. And then I'm like, now I'm kind of getting sick of you. And then with social media, you're in my grill all the time. But I was more interested, so I did a little case study for you guys. Because I wanted to talk about Cat Williams. And I have to say, I was more interested in what he said about Sed and Steve Harvey. I
was going to bring that up. Because I saw a lot of the videos, a lot of the accusations about them stealing things, and I saw videos popping up real quick, side-by-sides, and that was... I've always been a Steve Harvey fan. I haven't watched much of his stand-up since way back in the day. I remember he had a joke about government cheese, and it wasn't government, it was government. I don't know if you remember that. It was. I remember that, watching that set, and just laughing my ass off. I love the Steve Harvey show. I love him on Family Feud. He's an awesome motivational speaker. I go through my little bouts of I'm going to wake up in the morning, listen to somebody who's successful, tell me how to do it, or whatever, just get me pumped up for the day. And he's one of them. I love him. I was really disappointed when Cat called him out, and then I started seeing the videos of him stealing from Mark Curry and like all this other shit. I was like, damn, man.
Yeah. When he went after the spaceship bit that Cedric the Entertainer did, I really wanted to cry. I was like, that is like one of the highlights of that movie. Yeah. So this is the case study I did. I went back post Cat Williams interview and watched all of the Kings of Comedy, and holy shit, I forgot how fucking great that was. Mm-hmm. That was unbelievable. And they're all funny. Like the shit talking about Cedric with the stand-up, that was like interesting to me because I really only know his stand-up from Kings of Comedy. Mm-hmm. And same with Steve, but they crushed. Yep. So it was like DL opens up, and then Cedric did the bit, and Cedric did a lot of, I'm not trying to feed into it. Cedric the Entertainer is like one of the greats. I love Cedric. But a lot of the bits he did, I was like, I could kind of see Cat doing that. Like the whole, like when you have long stretches in a bit where you're not even talking, mm-hmm. and the whole crowd is into it, and you're doing the whole riding a spaceship. It's like, it made me wonder, but it definitely didn't really take away from it. What I took away from it, which was funny, and I want you guys to go back and watch, it dug into Steve Harvey's ass that he didn't close that special.
Oh yeah.
You could tell, dude. There were little things I picked up. So they were like, so Steve, and actually I was listening to Alonzo Bowden, great comedian, and he was talking about like coming up in like black rooms, like the black culture is like the host is like the star of the show. Like we have a different interpretation of host. Like host is like the host guy does a little up top, but then it's really like the headliner's the star, which is like it's kind of both. It depends on how you look at it. I don't know. Again, I don't want to get like all racial cultural, but Steve, there's a scene when they're because it's a movie. It's not just a special, so they show them like doing radio and driving different places and like doing the whole run, and they're doing this big giant show. And then they get to the hotel, and they're playing poker in the hotel. And it's so funny, because Bernie Mac has, like, a fucking do-rag on, and they're just, like, chopping it up. Steve has, like, a fucking, some crazy hat on, and they're doing the thing. And, like, out of nowhere, Steve Harvey just goes, now, let me tell you something here. You guys got to tell me. When I bring you up, don't I bring you up? I mean, I bring you up like nobody brings you up. You know that, and they're all like, yeah, Steve. I'm like, Steve is so insecure right now. He's like, I'm the host, but I'm a great host. I'm the best host. And then you watch his fucking set. He does like 40 minutes up top, sing-along bits, like real physical. He's got like music cues. And it's like this whole production up top. So he basically does like a closing set to open. Like that's why D.L. Hughley is like the realist. Because he had to follow Steve out the gate. Like Steve did like a headliner set out the gate. Steve kills. Steve comes back. Does another like 35. Damn. Talking about just songs. He's like, remember this kind of song? And there would be like minutes on end where he wasn't even talking. He's just lip singing. The crowd is getting up, just people crying. I mean, it was like the ultimate murdering. So he basically does like 2 murdering sets and hosts, because then he came back and did crowd work after Cedric. So he's like all through the show. So I just can imagine like Steve just being like, all right, if I'm not closing the show, I am going to be the show. Like, it's just like, show, yeah. It is crazy. But I'm watching this whole thing. I'm like, how the fuck did Bernie Mac, because I haven't seen this in a while. I'm like, how did Bernie Mac follow DL having a closing set, Steve having 3 closing sets with music cues and sing-alongs and crowd work, steals a guy's coat, makes a whole thing about it. Cedric, doing Cedric. Dude, Bernie Mac comes on, you fucking forget about all the other guys, dude.
Because he's that much greater than all of them, on top of it.
Crushes. I forgot how much he fucking crushed. Yeah. Dude, it was crazy. Like, roaring laughs. I was like...
I don't know why he wasn't in our top 10, because if you think about it, he's like... You name 10 better comedians than him, I don't think he could. He was really... I think
it's the same reason why Kings of Comedy isn't always considered the best special, because it's like bigger than that.
It's true.
Because I always box Bernie Mac into Kings of Comedy. He's like, it's literally like he's in a league of his own. It's like its own category, because we always think of like, okay, Chappelle, Rock, Louis, Burr. Like we start going through those names, and then we got to remember like, oh yeah, we get the Kings.
Yeah. It's true, because they never did like club. You don't see Bernie Mac doing club sets on the side that you're like, oh, that was his club special. You're like, no, they did just the greatest of all specials and then didn't do it again.
Yeah, you know how he got started? He did he just started his own show in Chicago at this club, and this is before. This is like imagine if that place had a fucking Instagram.
Yeah.
And you would see those clips. Like, imagine how popping that would have been like the Comedy Mothership. That would have been like its own thing. but he would do music and everything. It was like this whole variety show. He'd do it every week, and it just blew up in Chicago. Like he was like the king of Chicago, and then just became the man. And then the Kings got linked up, and that was it. But like Bernie Mac, dude, and that's why Cat that's why I feel like Cat was really going out of his way to really dig in their ass, because he felt like, and maybe it's like, standing on ceremony, kind of like ingratiating himself. Because there was some shit Cat said that was also wild, too. Like, his acting range.
Yeah.
Cat, I love you, but you're a pimp. And when you're not a pimp, you're a pimp. Like, you're a pimp and everything. Like, give me a break, dude. I love you to death. You're the greatest of all. You're one of the greatest ever. But so there was some, like, look at my stats comments, but it kind of made me wonder, like, he really went out of his way to, like, defend Bernie Mac almost, like, call them out in the name of Bernie Mac. And it was like...
Almost as he should, because...
yeah, I gotta respect that.
Yeah, I respect Bernie Mac 100%. Well, Wayne, I think we're getting towards the end, right? Do you think we got anything else we want to do before we wrap this sucker up?
Yeah, I do have one last question. So, as part of, I don't really normally do like New Year's resolutions, whatever. But since comedy's new to me, and I'm in my new year, one thing that I'm going for this year is I want to get out of my comfort zone with specials, and I want to watch 52 or listen to 52 different specials, one a week on average this year. So my question for you is, if you had to give me one special that you would think I may not have seen before, or maybe might be out of what you consider to be my realm of comedy to watch. You let me know what it is, and I'm going to check it out.
Wow. That's a great
Kings
one.
of Comedy, for one.
Well, I was going to say that not included, because that is something that I'm going to have to go back and watch. I remember...
That's a must. That's a clinic. But I would say... well, there's a lot of great ones that just came out. Like, I remember I'll just say the most recent one I saw was Big J. Okerson. Dog Belly.
It's one I haven't watched yet.
Well, that's a good one. That's it,
dude. It's pretty great. It's
we
pretty
saw
great.
Him
And
live,
everyone,
and he's fucking so good. He was the best of the show.
And everyone thinks of him as like a crowd work guy, and he does like a great mix of both. Like he really is like a master. Like so calm, collected. Like he's great. And he sits the whole time.
Yeah, we saw him at the festival back in whatever it was, and
Bird Crusher's festival.
Yeah, it was like July or whatever.
Oh wow!
And I think he was arguably might have been the best.
Well, he was even the technically best on our end, because he came out and there was this lady who's having like her 50th birthday or whatever, and all the comics, because she was wearing a little crown, were making something on it. But what he did was, when he came in, he did 15 minutes talking to this lady basically, and turned it into his material. It was so, because I can see someone because we know how the pasta's made. So you could see someone doing crowd work, and you're like, all right, he's trying to steer it into this because he knows his bit goes into that. There is none of that with Big J. It is so like, oh man, I just happened to be, like, it's like he's just being that funny spontaneously. And you know that he's got that material in there, but how he can get into it, it's the craziest. Again, more props that were given to other comics on this podcast, but fuck, it's worth noting.
Yeah, and that's like the difference you feel, and not to throw a stab at this guy because he's gotten so much shit. But when you talk about like crowd work, you end up talking about Matt Rife.
Yeah.
And I actually have a lot of respect for Matt Rife, because he was like an improv guy, and that's also something I cannot do. Like that probably should be a resolution of mine, is working on being able to improv with the crowd at all, because that's my biggest fear. I run from it immediately, or I just end up screaming at homeless people. So it's not really it's bad either way. But I think that's the thing with Big J, is like, I think Matt Rife's material didn't hit like he maybe thought it would on his special. I don't know, but I know Big J's like a great example of a guy who's like, it's almost like he's taking it where he wants to go. Like he'll do crowd work, but he always has like that material to lean back on. It's like
he's like hypnotizing you almost, that when he does crowd work, where Matt Rife is more asking questions and reacting. But it's, man, the funniest thing I've ever heard any comedian ever say was Matt Rife, and it was obviously improv because his material is horrible. But he was
Jesus.
He was doing a set, and there was a lady doing sign language for the crowd, and he got captivated by it, and he was like, God damn, you can make a motherfucker come with a poem. And I thought that was the funniest thing I've ever heard someone say.
No, he's quick. It's like when it's so good, it's almost like, why are we yelling at this guy? Stop! Don't make him right.
Don't make him right.
Just let him do that.
It's true.
You know, if you can do both, do both, and that's what Big J Okerson does. But when you're that good with when you're Matt Rife, just do what you do best, man.
Who thought that face was gonna not be shallow? Like in the fucking everybody's like, he's gonna be interesting. No, he's not.
Well, that's mainly why I like talking trash about him, because I want to drop him down a peg, so maybe one day I could fuck him.
Yeah, definitely.
That's mainly, you know. I think we're all in that boat. I think we're all in that boat.
Yeah.
Because fucking Matt Rife might be a worthy step in a quest for laughs.
Whoa!
First time talking about sex.
Am I really getting heckled by the guy who just gave this microphone hepatitis? Is that what's happening? Is it the guy who had more jokes than teeth? And you didn't have any jokes? Did you get that one? You fuck!